hasn't been the best night for the tank. It hasn't been the worst night for the tank. I don't really know how to feel yet, but we're here to talk about it all. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes post-game show, brought to you by the one and only Draftkings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Petey and Craig, and if you're watching us on YouTube right now, you might be able to see we've taken over Suns Who. Not like they've done anything impressive this week.
Right.
We got the brand new Kachina on set.
We have a new black Kachina behind us. If you can see it up here. Thank you, Rich Nairn. And it's not just any black Kachina. This one will take you back to 2012 because Petey hid the number. I think he hid the number for a reason. Maybe you guys are having a battle or something.
I might actually say the other thing. I wanted to show the number. So, Ray, if you're listening, and we know you are, I had it turned around, and Craig said, no, don't show his number.
We'll do that another time. But that is Ray Whitney's jersey up there. And, of course, the Wizard was a big part of the run to the 2012 Western Conference Final, in which they defeated these very Blackhawks in the first round. So there
Never
it is.
forget.
We've got a new prop for our set. It'll be here every live show we do.
Well, let's hope so. We'll see what the Suns people do to it.
Yeah, they're not here to protest, so.
Well,
the
we already
Cardinals.
sold the Barkley jersey, so
Yep.
I don't know what they're going to put in this
Sorry.
place.
That's fine, and we already got a super chat for that can help replenish what we owe them for that jersey. $5 from Alltech ZZ. Rate my fit for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. He's in St. Louis.
Oh,
Do you remember
Kachina.
he was trying to do Game Time, the app? and
Yes,
he was on the
Kachina,
road.
pants, shirt, hoodie, jersey, hat, mullet, and a custom howling head Jason Voorhees style hockey mask.
Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
think
we'll be
you're set.
looking.
Okay.
I think you're set. Roaring Fork said it's not number 69, PD. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So, Alltech Z, is it like sleeping? Z,
I don't know. It's signed Cassie
tweet
and
that.
Jersey to be specific.
Tweet that.
Yeah,
'Cause
send us a photo.
Seriously.
Tag us on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'd
tag
love
us
to
on
see
Twitter
it.
because that would be awesome.
All right, let's talk about the game.
Really?
Yeah, we do have to. Coyotes are now 1-5-4
Against the key teams.
the Vancouver, Montreal, San Jose, Anaheim, Chicago, and Columbus. Nick Bjugstad, we love him so much, but Nick Bjugstad,
Not so much tonight, actually.
Nick Bjugstad, I'm so happy for you, and I hope this boosts your trade value for the Coyotes' sake. But why'd you have to tie the game? It was going so well.
Yeah. Blame Minnesota.
And it did everything
I
we've
blame
asked
Minnesota.
for. They had a good start. They come out with the lead. They're playing well. They're skating well. But let's face reality here. The Chicago Blackhawks had so many opportunities, missed nets, bowled the goalie over. I thought there were chances that Chicago could have put 1, 2, 3 goal lead on this game.
Yep.
Either a good save, missed net. They had the power play where literally Jones missed 2 or 3 shots in a row. They look like Coyotes on the power play where they kept missing golden opportunities and missing the net. So I thought Chicago really took the game over in the second period. But the third period, the Coyotes stormed back. And I thought that first 5 minutes of the third, I thought the Coyotes were moving their feet again, getting pucks to the net. And we were like, uh-oh, they might actually come back.
Yeah,
And they did.
you got to respect it.
And they got
You got to respect it.
Yeah, and here
Good
again,
week for them.
part of the rebuild is you
Overall.
can't tell the players and the coach to rebuild.
Yeah.
You can't. You can tell the management suite to rebuild, but you can't tell the players because they're going to work hard. Chicago did the same damn thing. Like their players were buzzing. Like it was actually not.
They knew that.
Not a bad game.
They knew that the CHGO Blackhawks crew were doing a
there.
takeover for
That's
this
right.
game,
Live.
so they gave them a pretty entertaining game, I will say.
Yeah. And it's a 4-point spread with the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks have 2 games in hand. So that one's still,
It's okay.
you know, they're in play there.
Yeah.
Columbus
Anaheim
lost,
is losing
Yeah.
to Pittsburgh.
actively losing.
So that could be a 1-point deficit. So those teams are in Columbus. Columbus may not get to 50
Columbus,
points
I
this
have no
season.
faith.
I do want to bring up something that A-Root said, and no, Craig's not yelling at you, I promise. But he
Not yet.
said that wasn't walking and talking in Bjugstad, but technically it was
Yes.
a special edition of Walking and Talking. We called it Sitting and Chatting. So yes, that
and
was
you
an
did
episode.
say the words
and I
walking
said
and
this
talking.
is a special edition of Walking and Talking.
So
that counts.
Bjugstad got the boost.
So
Yeah.
So
Bjugstad.
this is
got the
Petey's-
boost and
so this
blew
is
the tank.
Petey's fault.
Yes, he blew the tank.
Again,
Technically
blame
my fault.
Minnesota. I just blame the entire state.
Technically my fault.
Okay, but hear me out. Nick Bjugstad gets traded for a second round pick, and that second round pick turns into a game changer for the Arizona Coyotes that we talk about 5 years from now on Trade Talk Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm in.
All right.
Yeah, that was my little Wheel of Fantasy sidebar. Let's get into the nitty gritty of this one, and we'll go over the numbers tonight. Chicago, by the way, 44 shots on goal.
Is that a misprint?
On the broadcast, they said that this was their first game getting, I think, over 33 shots in 18 games. It feels like the Coyotes. It's literally like the Coyotes. Coyotes 27 shots. They struggled a bit in that department, but like you said, stormed back in the third. Both teams 0 for 2 on the power play. And then we added takeaways on here because, boy howdy, were there a lot of them. Blackhawks had 13 to the Coyotes 7, and it felt like even more. It felt like the Coyotes just were constantly turning over the puck tonight.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry.
I just thought it was quiet for a second, so I don't like silence. No,
Go
I
ahead.
was talking because no one spoke, so I talked.
Yeah, there were a ton of turnovers tonight, and I was noticing it with the Coyotes. I kept saying, "Oh, another turnover," and they were turnovers in terrible places on the ice too, like where you don't want to turn the puck over, like at the blue line.
Yeah, this was Chicago's most shots in a game all season. Of course, it would be tonight,
of course,
against the Coyotes. But the Coyotes didn't meet that magic 30 number, which has been a crutch for them. So I thought there was a chance they might actually pull this game off. The truth is, and this is what I've said about the Chicago Blackhawk team all season, they're better. And I think you saw it tonight. I mean, Max Domi can still play. Athanasiou can play. Kane, I wanted more out of Kane tonight. I was expecting more out of Kane, and I'll tell you why. I thought playing the New York Rangers, not getting traded to the New York Rangers where Tarasenko went, where he wanted to go, and that didn't happen. I thought he was going to say, hey, I'm going to show you I'm still the guy you should have went after. I expected a big game from number 88. I didn't see that.
I don't see him engaged.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's not happy.
He literally spoke this week about kind of being bummed to see Tarasenko go to the Rangers because he literally admitted that was a team he was looking at.
Yeah, but I thought that all along because of Artemi Panarin. They were magic together. I understood why he wanted to go there. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Patrick Kane's done. I don't think he is. I think he's just
he's not playing like it here though, Craig. I mean, you might be right. He might be because he's not engaged with Chicago anymore.
He made the playoffs in 7 years. But he doesn't. Well, he made the bubble.
But he doesn't. You're right. He doesn't look like he gives a shit. And that's hard when you have a talent like that. He's an incredible hockey player that's done some great things to this team for over a decade. But he's not.
Yeah, and then you have a GM who mismanages the team and they don't make the playoffs
the
for a very long time.
We need it.
Yeah, cowbell.
Yeah.
But I thought
imagine that. Imagine Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews, who won 3 Stanley Cups, and then you go 7 seasons and you get in the playoff bubble, but that's it. You're not playing playoff hockey. It's insane that those guys have been out of the playoffs for this long.
But don't you think they tried, though, and the move was with Jones that they're trying to make hey, we're coming back, and then they got worse?
Was just idiocy at that point.
And then they got worse?
It was idiocy at that point. They had too many holes.
Maybe the Stauber kid will help.
Their run was earlier, like when they mismanaged the cap in so many different instances. And they gave away players like Artemi Panarin or Teuvo Teravainen. And I could go on and on here, obviously going all the way back to 2010 when Andrew Ladd and Dustin Byfuglien and Chris Versteeg all walked away in the same offseason. It was so poorly managed. They should have won 5 cups with the talent that they had and their scouting system and everything. And the only reason they didn't is Stan Bowman. Fight me on that. I don't agree with anyone who argues with me.
Yeah, E-Root.
I need my cowbell.
Hear that,
I really need my cowbell.
Sorry, E-Root. But he brought like this Chicago Blackhawk team is not the team of the past. But I thought, Craig, they were going to be better than this year. I really, really, really did. And they're not.
Nope.
Scott said Tankathon intact, Kane to Buffalo. And I will say Sean is actually not behind the Mac tonight. We got Damon behind the Mac. So no Buffalo talk tonight. But
yeah,
finally.
Thank God.
Give Sean a little breather. Those guys, everybody's been working really hard around here, except me and Craig. Haven't working.
Craig was here all day yesterday.
Was he?
Not that he doesn't work hard every other day. I just could see him doing it this time.
Thomas Christ.
I was writing. I was busy writing.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, let's talk about your keys, Petey.
Sure, let's do that.
Sure, let's do that.
Well, we've talked about this team getting their rest, and you think that's good for the team because they need the rest. But when they have rest, they don't always come back ready to play. They were ready to play. I thought that first period they come out with a 2-goal lead. I know Chicago had the edge in shots early, but they come out of the first period with a 2-0 lead. It's 2-1 because Jones scored late. But they get a 2-0 lead in the first periods. I'm going to give that a ding that they met that one. Schmaltzy, buddy.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy. Yeah, Schmaltzy was ready to play. How about that back check, Craig?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he turned it over and then prevented his turnover from going
so
terribly
wrong. So I
wrong.
think Schmaltzy was there. He's in 1-1.
I'm Nick Schmaltz's hype man as far as back pressure. Nobody realizes how good he is at it. I'm not saying he's great in his own zone, but he is great at back pressure because he's got speed.
So there's 2. Ding! They hit that one. And Hurricane. Yeah, they kept him. Was he a factor tonight? I already said that.
Nope.
He wasn't a factor. So they make. I think I'm going to give them all 3 keys to the game, which is good enough to get them to overtime. So that's bad, right?
I know.
Or is it good?
These games are so confusing to talk about. They really
are. Like it's like you could see it in the motion of players, and that's where I keep going back to. They want to win, and you saw it when Bjugstad got that tying goal. They were pretty amped. They weren't disappointed to be winning. So I'm going to side with the players and go, yay, they got a point out of this one, which I think is a win for them. They're going to have their hands full in St. Louis. Even though St. Louis just got rid of Tarasenko, sometimes when you lose a figure like that in your lineup, other people pick up the slack.
Yeah.
The thing that'll save them tomorrow is Veggie now is coming off 4 days rest, and he's well rested, and he's heading to St. Louis where he's had some success. So look for Veggie, the over saves, whatever it is tomorrow. Look for Veggie and the over saves.
Are you calling a win, St. Louis?
I'm calling a good game, and Veggie has over 33 saves. I think St. Louis is going to win.
In regulation?
Yeah.
Can we get some regulation
I think St.
losses?
I think St. Louis is going to get a boost. If Sammy Blais is in the lineup tomorrow, I'm a big Sammy Blais fan. I think him coming in the New York Ranger
Michael
trade
Grabner
coming
is
back.
not, but
What's that?
Michael Grabner is not. But
He doesn't like him?
Well, the eye.
Oh, the eye. Ooh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah, that's too bad. Ooh. Oh, I didn't need to think of that. But he just didn't fit in the Rangers. I think he'll get a little boost tomorrow, and I'd take him as an anytime scorer. Sammy Blais tomorrow, and Veggie over saves.
All right.
Love it. By the way, Connor Ingram, like he was pretty solid tonight, I will say.
But he's been
40 saves on 44
He's
shots.
really found his groove here.
Since his first 2 games, I don't you think he's been pretty consistent?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, he has been. And it's funny because when you tweeted out the goalies tonight, and when they were doing the goalie matchup too on the broadcast, I was like, first of all, I'd never heard of
Stauber.
Yeah, sorry, never heard of him.
He's been pretty good
and
for
when
him.
you see they put Ingram in against the Blackhawks, like automatically I think, okay, they're putting the backup in, and that's not a knock on Ingram because he has been pretty solid. But if you're gonna, try and lose this game, coaches don't tank, but management does. But he was good tonight.
He was good, and he's been good for a long time. And shout out to Kevin Woodley with In Goal Magazine, who said this like long before anybody else. Just like, this is the guy everybody should be looking at if you're looking for a backup. And after a little bit of a rocky start, Connor Ingram has really found his groove with the Coyotes.
Yeah,
and it's not an easy situation, obviously, playing behind this team because you're going to face a lot of rubber like he did tonight.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm going to say one sidebar that nobody's going to give a shit about, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
Because Leah Merrill said she didn't know Stauber, right? It's Jackson Stauber with an X. But we hardly ever talk about Minnesota on this show. Hardly ever talk about Minnesota on the show. But Jackson's Stauber's dad, Rob Stauber, went to Duluth Denfeld High School in the great state of Minnesota. We both went and played high school in 1986. We were both seniors in 1986. We both played goal at the Minnesota State High School hockey tournament against each other. He goes on to the University of Minnesota. I go to North Dakota. He wins a Hobie Baker and plays in the National Hockey League. I barely ever play again the rest of my life. But very jealous of how that all worked out. But
you were in the NHL too.
Yeah, kind of.
In your own way.
So Rob, my nemesis, like I'm the Joker to his Batman. Like he's my nemesis all the way along. And then we both have kids. Buddy, what does he name his kid?
Jackson.
What is my kid's name?
Jackson. Spelled differently.
Coincidence? I don't know. Maybe I just stalked him. I don't know. Maybe I have.
Which one's older?
I don't know. I should check it out.
Look up how old Jackson Stauber is, and then you can you can determine who copied who.
I don't know what to do with that entire segment.
I don't know, but she said she never heard of him. But the Stauber, yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Jackson is 23.
Didn't like
how
him
old
so
is
much?
your Jackson?
24.
Didn't like him so much.
He copied you.
Kind of like Eddie Belfour.
No, he was great. Robbie was a great goalie, great stand-up goalie for the Golden Gophers. He was outstanding. He really was.
Trying to stir things up.
No, he was good. He was a really good goaltender out of the state of Minnesota.
You were in the NHL, by the way, because I saw you on the ice many a practice in your younger days.
I did practice a lot in the NHL ice.
He was the Coyotes practice goalie.
Before there was E-Bugs.
Many days.
The days before E-Bug, I was an E-Bug.
Yep.
Wow. Imagine if that happened. Holy moly.
Because the goalies, like Sean Burke, and I know Sean's listening too, is now the goalie coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. They wouldn't skate on game days, but the practice players, and you want to practice with two goalies. So I used to get to travel with my gear all around this great North America, and I used to play in most of these rinks and practiced all the time with the team.
That's very cool.
It was great.
We have another chat from Alltex who has clarified it's Alltex. That's how it's pronounced.
Alltex, got it.
Yep, I got it. 2, I was born in Portland, so nice shirt, Craig. But which Portland?
We're not going to talk about it.
Cassian hat trick.
Which Portland were you born in? That's the one.
Yeah, and Cassian Hattrick booking it now. Okay.
Cassian Hattrick booking it now.
Whoa.
Boy,
howdy, I don't know.
What are the odds on that?
But Alltech's going to be wearing their jersey at the game, so why not?
That DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Make some good money on that,
for
though.
Cassian Hattie?
Crazy. That is crazy. All right, we have a little bit more to get into with this one, but before we do, what are you drinking, Petey?
I'm going Kilt Lifter because the fridge is full.
The fridge is full.
And so I'm back on the Kilt Lifter finally.
I have to say, I cracked open a Wow Wheat beer at 11 a.m. today.
What else were you drinking today, Leah Merrill?
Margaritas, but that's neither here nor there. Damon was also drinking Wow Wheat beer with me at 11 a.m., and so was Sean.
Best beer in Arizona.
So did you start with a Wow Wheat beer, or did you start with the margaritas?
No, I had a 3-hour break today, and that is when I had margaritas.
Okay.
The
Wow is the perfect day drinking beer.
Is that what's in here?
Exactly.
And like Craig said, fight me.
No.
Fight me.
I have a headache from the margaritas.
Wow, it's got the orange. It's got that little hint of orange.
For the daytime.
It's light. It's crisp. Citrusy.
Today, it's Friday. It's the end of the longest week that we have all had here in a very long time, and all we want.
Not Petey.
Yeah. Well, he's busy in his own right.
Really busy with ESPN.
All we wanted to do.
Is that okay? I said it.
I don't know.
All we wanted to do was just crack open a cold one, and a Wow was just the perfect thing this morning. Thank God we can drink on the job. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
And if you haven't had a chance to try Arizona's #1 wheat ale in the Wow Wheat, come on down to Old Town Boondocks. That's tomorrow for the Tailgate Time Machine, Saturday, February 11th. Try Four Peaks' newest innovation. It's packed full of Arizona citrus flavor, perfect for light drinking in the desert sun. You must be 21 or older to enjoy responsibly. And the reason we were drinking so early is we did our Super Bowl betting show. I made my bets
I've got some
return.
goofy bets.
We did all of the Super Bowl.
You did the actual show?
So we did, so Sean hosted because Shane and Johnny obviously usually host bets. They were on Radio Row all week. So Sean was filling in as host.
On Radio Row,
crushing it. Unreal.
Just A-list of guests.
Just go scroll on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel and see what they've done. Yeah, Pat McAfee, James Conner, Rondell Moore, oh my God, just crazy.
Yeah, Pat McAfee.
Anywho, just a ton of stuff. But Sean hosted. I was on the first half of the show. We did all the novelty props. Gatorade color, coin toss. Winner of the coin toss. We even debated what Rihanna's going to open the Super Bowl halftime show with.
What did you go with, by the way? Because she's, according to her...
I'm down to 3.
According to her, and I think it's bullshit, according to her, they haven't decided yet. And I think that's all... They said it today. I saw it today on Entertainment Tonight. She's 38 songs. She's shuffling them around. She doesn't know yet. Well, of course they know.
Of course they know. They got a script.
They just have to say that.
Although, things still happen at the Super Bowl, like Left Shark. I was there for Left Shark. So that was there cool.
live for Left Shark?
I was there live for Left Shark.
I'm down to Ponder Replay, Disturbia, and Please Don't Stop the Music as my final 3. But anywho, that was on the bet show today. It was a lot of fun. And then Damon and I switched. Damon made his debut in front of the camera.
Wow.
Because Damon is a low-key degenerate gambler. He gambles responsibly, but he gambles responsibly, but he is a degenerate, and he gave all his Super Bowl picks and props. So if you want all of that, go back and watch PHNX Bets Daily from today. But the Super Bowl is coming up on Sunday. I love it. There's just also every day they do a happy hour boost.
Yes.
I've been getting in on that every single day. So I'm just hoping I win some money. Yeah. I don't care who wins the game. Just win me some money on DraftKings. And you can too. Download the app now. Use promo code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void in Ohio. See show notes for details. And while we're talking about DraftKings, I think we should crown tonight's DraftKings king of the game. And I think this one was a little bit of a no-brainer because he played in his 400th career game. Our king of the game is, of course,
back in his old stomping grounds, too.
Nick Schmaltz, 1 goal, 1 assist in his 400th career game.
Back to the team that drafted him first round in 2014. Nick
and the
Schmaltz
team where he played
Chicago
youth hockey, too, with the Chicago Mission.
There you
even
go.
though he was up in Madison. Making
Same
the
here,
long haul from Madison, Wisconsin down to Chicago.
But that
to play
is
for the
cool.
Mission.
That is
Yeah.
cool to play your
Him and his
400th
brother,
game in Chicago.
Mhm.
That's very cool.
8 points in 8 career games against the Blackhawks.
And
too,
he
for Nick
played,
Schmaltz.
you know what? That line, when Keller and Schmaltz were out there together with Barrett Hayton, that line was in the offensive zone all night long. I thought Keller had the puck on a string tonight. I thought
that line looked amazing.
He looked strong again. His feet were moving. And the only thing on Kells, I keep telling you this, drive the net. Like we looked at him and that one time he has a one-on-one. It's ironically, it's on the same shift that he scores, but he has the opportunity to drive the net, take the puck to the hole, just get to the net, and he just did. And he holds up, he pulls up, ends up making a great play for the first goal of the game. But when he was in the offensive zone tonight, both those two guys, they fire Hayton at the net to disturb everybody in front of the net, and 8 and 9 were just buzzing around the offensive zone. I thought they really looked good tonight, and they were a threat to score every time out there. And like you said, even when Schmaltz turns the puck over between the blue lines, blatant, horrific turnover, he hunts the puck down, makes a great play in the defensive zone, and lifts the stick and stops the breakaway. So he definitely deserved king of the game for playing the way he did on both sides of the puck.
Absolutely. Here's a fun little nugget. Only 6 players from the 2014 draft class had more career points than Schmaltz at the time of their 400th game. And he was drafted 20th overall. So, what?
Back.
The deep unlock.
So Shane does this where he tries to find a sticker that it doesn't show on YouTube. So he tries to find the emoji. If you're watching on YouTube on the live chat, it actually is the
Looks
emoji.
like the emoji.
But he tries to find the one that he thinks will be the craziest description. So thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Shane. He's lemon character and baby lemon blowing a party horn while marching. This is what it looks like.
There looks like, see, that's exactly what it looks like. But I tell you what, there's another guy that worked really, really hard this week. And if you didn't watch the shit show on our YouTube
oh
channel,
my god,
Yeah, that was
he
fun.
did a okay. If
That
you've
was
never
fun.
watched a shit show, they usually just interview drunk people. He interviewed
like
NFL players playing in the Super Bowl on
yes.
Sunday.
And he asked them questions that, man, I'd have been afraid to ask him, and he didn't.
Wait, could you imagine
The
how
grizzly bear versus a silverback gorilla?
I
Who
love
would
the
win?
one
I was
that?
like-
Oh my
I was like,
god,
Who
no!
came up with that, first of all?
Oh, him. Obviously.
Of course he did. Exactly.
But can you imagine how relieved they must have been to just have been asked
Right, just
something
to have fun with
totally
that.
different? Like, you
That
know, you're
had to be
just
scary,
oh my god,
though.
it's Super Bowl media day. How does it feel to be here? What do you
Yeah.
think? It's like
The
who would
big
win
game.
in a fight, a grizzly bear or a silverback gorilla?
Yeah, so if you haven't watched the shit show with...
The answer is a grizzly bear, by the way. It's a
I
grizzly
think so,
bear,
too.
hands down.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? With the size, the weight, the claws.
One of the people in it actually said, well, what's the terrain? And like,
I know, I like
That's
that.
awesome.
That
was
was
good.
hilarious.
Yeah,
was
so
good.
but I have to say that about Shane as we're giving him his flowers on the hockey show, because why not? That's really hard. One of the hardest things to do in this whole thing, like this, sitting here talking with the lights on, I think we're pretty comfortable with it. Talking to people like that, or in the man in the street stuff, that's really, really hard. And then to do it to NFL players and ask them really silly questions, man, I would have been like flop sweating. That would have been so stressful. So hats off to him. Go watch it if you hadn't, because he deserves his flowers.
What?
What's flop sweating?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
When you're very nervous from the lights and stuff, so you're sweating profusely.
Flop?
Flop sweating.
No,
I've never heard that. Okay.
Have you heard that, Damon?
flop sweat.
Not once in my entire life.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Is that not a thing?
While we're
Maybe a Minnesota thing.
yeah, must be a Minnesota thing. While
Yeah,
we're
flop sweat.
while we're out here giving
Heavy
flowers.
perspiration. What is flop sweat? Flop sweat is heavy perspiration as a result of being nervous.
All right, I believe you. I see it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
'Kay.
While we're
Sorry, I'm
giving
older than
flowers,
everybody else here.
We already mentioned Clayton Keller on the ice with Nick Schmaltz tonight, but he did have 3 points tonight.
Mhm.
His 299th, 300th, and 301st NHL points. He was involved in all 3 Coyotes goals. So, I mean, if it wasn't Schmaltz's 400th game, he would have definitely been in consideration for king of the game. But like you said, he was a threat.
Thanks, Ethan.
He was a threat all night, and that goal in the first period is his 19th of the season. So he's right on the precipice of 20 goals, and 30 goals, I think, is within reach.
We'll see.
Yeah, he's got to get 1 every 3 games, and depending. And here's the big question mark for this team going down this last 30 games on where they end up is what happens to the roster.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's coming soon. We're 3 weeks away now.
We're 3 weeks away.
And I don't know how much, we're talking about the trade deadline anyway. With Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews, those are the 2 big pieces. I'm not sure those guys are going to move. There's been so much talk about all the moves that the Blackhawks are going to make. I'm not sure those guys are going to move. There's concern about Patrick Kane's health. There's concern about Jonathan Toews, period, because he's deteriorated so much as a player. Imagine if they don't move either one of those guys and don't get assets for either of those players. Then you're talking about, like Sam Lafferty and Max. What are you going to get for those guys? You're not going to get much.
Yeah, I
could
think
really work in the Coyotes' favor.
I think their return is questionable. And I Jonathan Toews to me is one of the premier players to play this game over the last 12 years, period. He played when he was the captain and they were winning puck cups. This kid,
he was incredible. Yeah,
incredible hockey player. So I'm not taking away from him, but right now he's not that guy.
No.
Missed a whole year. He's been in and out of the lineup this year. He's got apparently sick again right now.
Flu that's not a flu, or is it?
Flu that's not a flu. Is it? So yeah. When you're getting a bump right now, you need a guy that has. When you're getting a rental, you need a guy that can play now. You need a guy that can give you a push and help get you into the playoffs and be an effective player right now. And that's why when you look at the Tarasenko-Kane deal, Craig and I had this debate about who's going to be better fit there. I mean, you look at Kane and Panarin had a relationship, but so did Tarasenko and Panarin back with the World Junior and Russian national teams. So I think they went for the younger, quicker player. And New York Rangers play a fast, upbeat tempo game, and I don't think Patrick Kane can play that. So if he doesn't fit there, Kane's got a no-trade clause. He gets to pick where he wants to go. He wanted to go there.
Yeah, and there's not many teams on his list, by the way. It's a very short list.
It's a short list, and so where does he fit? And you're right, and I saw the CHGO show still thinks they're both going to get moved. I don't. I really don't. It's going to be a big ask to add Patrick Kane to your lineup right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think Toews is going to move.
It's amazing if those 2 guys don't, though, because it changes the whole narrative
so what happens
of the Blackhawks. Right? They don't get any assets for
you
those
don't get
guys.
any assets
and
for
they
those
both
2
become
guys?
free agents, and then
what?
Right?
You lose 2 of the best players you've ever had in franchise history for nothing.
Yep.
Ouch.
And I'll go back to this because I said this a couple of years ago. They should have moved Patrick Kane earlier.
When he
should
was
have
a
been traded
higher
a couple of years
valued
ago.
asset.
When he was ridiculously good still a
And
couple
they were
seasons
still
ago.
losing. So what was the point?
Yeah.
And
there was no
Scott White says to Winnipeg, maybe. Toews to Winnipeg, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. And maybe he goes to Colorado still. Yeah, we'll see what happens, and maybe Kane goes to Carolina. But again, they should have traded him 2 years ago when he was lights out, and they could have gotten a ton for him. But they do things like they go and get Seth Jones instead and pretend that they're actually still a contender when they're not.
I was thinking about Seth Jones today because I was like, oh, that's a bummer that he did this massive deal to go there and they're a bad team, but he was on Columbus before, so it's I guess it's you get to live in Chicago. Yeah, I mean Columbus is a great city. I'm not gonna dunk on
Chicago.
But
didn't you feel like Seth Jones? He had 26 minutes. I was gonna say it felt like he was on the ice all the time tonight. Yeah. He was on the ice for 26 minutes. You saw him in overtime. He was just gassed. And I thought that the Coyotes were going to actually
goal,
score.
By the way,
he was everywhere tonight. And I thought when he got held, he got stuck out there in the defensive zone with Schmaltz and Keller on the ice. And I said, okay, the Coyotes are going to score here. And then they get it back to Chychrun, and Chychrun lets it go, and then he kind of fumbled it off his stick. And then he finally gets the shot off, and it just couldn't get it by Stauber. But I thought that was the moment where they were going to actually win this hockey game. And that's partly because of the magic between Keller and Schmaltz, but it's also because Jones has just had nothing left. Playing him that long, he's tired.
Yeah, I remember how good he was early in his career, and I just haven't seen that guy in a while.
But Craig, it's the second person we've said that about. We said that about Kane, we've said it about Toews, and now we said it about Jones.
Well, Seth Jones is not old,
but is it a vibe there? You know what? We talk about losing breeds losing. I can't imagine that locker room's a whole lot of fun right now.
Yeah, maybe.
And guys are just like, I'm tired of this, and they're losing 19 straight, and those kind of things. I don't know. I don't think it's, you look at what the Coyotes done and their records are similar, but Andre Tournier has got a culture of, hey, this is still going to be a fun place to play. Let's have little wins, let's hit little goals, and let's still make this fun and entertaining to come to the rink. And I think it shows in it. Chicago doesn't look like that.
No,
they're not having fun.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
And you know what else Arizona has that Chicago doesn't? It was in the 70s today. Do you know what the temperature is in Chicago right now?
I don't.
It's 28 degrees. Just
That's,
saying.
that's not bad, actually. I've seen far worse in Chicago. You've
Yeah.
seen far worse in
That's
Toronto.
a nice day.
You've seen
Very
way
true.
worse in Bemidji.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bemidji.
true. Are you from Minnesota?
Yeah, it might be.
A couple more notes from this game. I only have 2, and then we can move on from it. 1, Barrett Hayton had an unbelievable chance in overtime, so I have to give him credit for being all over it. 2, Liam O'Brien was back in the lineup tonight.
Boy,
and
was
we
he
haven't
ever.
talked about him, and I saw a comment way earlier on about him making a huge hit kind of early in the game. He
Mhm.
made himself known early on. Any thoughts on either of those 2 guys
No, he
tonight?
just brought what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He was feisty tonight. He was
He was probably
physically engaged
happy to be
tonight.
back on the
Yeah,
ice.
sure. It's been 2 months.
2 months. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he was a physical force. They talked about the hit on Kane in the crease as Kane's trying to come to the net. Big hit there, big hit along the wall. He was involved physically all night, and he just does it with a smile on his face. Like, yeah, I'm having fun doing this. Like he's so happy to be out there playing that role, which has to be really hard to play, by the way. It's got to physically be draining on you to play that way. It's an element this team has missed a little bit. I think they expected Zach Cassian to help fill that role this season. That hasn't happened. McBain brings a little bit of physicality to his game. Krause at times, Fisher at times, but nothing like Liam O'Brien brings to this team and his ability to spark the team when he's on the ice with those kind of hits. Great getting him back in the lineup for sure. One more thing I want to talk about this game.
Yeah, go for it.
And we talk about it, and I guess I look at this game, the game of hockey, through a little bit different lens.
Mhm.
And the Coyotes take
We're both about to drink our water.
the Coyotes give up
Who
a
says
goal.
it's water?
The Coyotes give up a goal with a lot of activity around the blue paint. The 3-2 goal for the Chicago Blackhawks, the game makes the game 3-2. It appeared that Connor Ingram was bumped and pushed off of the post inside the blue paint. I'm sitting in a comfortable studio in a more furniture chair. I'm drinking a beer. I have zero pressure on me and zero skin in the game. I was surprised they did not call goalie interference.
I was too, actually, because he did get pushed off the post.
Yeah, and I know how quickly those decisions need to be made, and you don't want to make a mistake and cause a penalty, and that's late in the game and go down 3-2 and then give up the penalty. You have no chance to get back. I am surprised. I am surprised at that one to me. And we saw the one where Max Domi blows over Ingram, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, that one was
He didn't have to call
that
it.
was a no-brainer.
But that one surprised me, and I think there's several things you look for, and I'm on the tentative side, especially with goalie interference. I've always been on the side of, gosh, you better be sure. I would have thrown
You
the
would have
flag.
alerted them.
I would have
to-
made the flag. And
yeah.
so what we do, we play a game here as we're watching these on TV, and I always play this game with Rick Tocchet at the bar, by the way, because Tocchet always challenged me on these calls. And when it would happen in a game we were watching, whether it was in the locker room before one of our games or at the bar, he'd say, "What's the call? What are you calling?" And I have no replays, no looks, and I'd make the call. He'd challenge me, so I got to the point where this is kind of important to me. And so I stood up and I stood by the goalie, and the defenseman didn't push the Chicago player in. All the benchmarks for me were hit that made it unable for him to make it. I would have liked to see them call the flag. I'm not second guessing their judgment because they're on the bench and they have to make the call and live with it. I don't.
You're good at throwing flags. We saw that the other day.
I did.
Yeah.
By the way, earlier the chat said you need to incorporate flop sweat into your next Roman race.
Yeah, I'm just too old for this. I'm just too old for it.
Oh
Flop sweat.
boy. Do you have any final thoughts on the
No,
game?
not at all.
Good. Well, I mentioned that it was a CHGO takeover tonight, and while we haven't had PHNX Coyotes takeover in a while, there is a PHNX Suns takeover on the horizon, and I couldn't think of a better time for a PHNX Suns takeover to happen than Devin
Yeah.
Booker back healthy, Kevin Durant's a son. You got it's all together, and if you want to go and see Kevin Durant as a Phoenix Sun, grab your tickets to our next PHNX Suns at takeover on March 16th. just over a month away. Watch Book and Katie take on the Magic with your favorite PHNX crew. Hang out with us for pregame activities and receive a complimentary PHNX pocket tee with each ticket purchase. Buy your tickets through the link in our description. And for diehards, check out the Discord and the diehard website for 20% off. Again, a great perk to becoming a diehard. 20% off event. And another perk to being a diehard, 20% off on shirts, including this brand new one that we dropped yesterday, the Slim Valley Reaper t-shirt.
It is so sweet.
Kevin Durant is here. And by the way, if you order this now, you can get it in time for the takeover. And if you're not a diehard and you want to become one, you can get the shirt for free upon sign up. Or if you are a diehard, get 20% off on the shirt. Go to the phnxlocker.com right now to grab this. It's unbelievable.
How would you like to be the fifth guy in the starting lineup for the Suns right now? Right?
That was funny, that graphic you sent in our company Slack today.
Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, and
you might get that nod, Craig, and you probably still get bump off with 20 points and a couple of rebounds with that lineup.
That's crazy.
It's
just crazy.
I'm surprised anybody's watching right now because everybody's watching the Suns. The Suns are back to being a big deal again.
Yes.
Yeah.
They struggled and they went through some growing pains. Now they're a big deal. I was watching the Today Show with Hoda Kotb, and they don't talk basketball, and they brought up
Katie?
The KD trade.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how big a deal this is.
It is a big deal. It's a damn big deal. I wrote about it. That's what I was doing yesterday.
Who the hell's
Katie,
going to
by
watch
the
the
way.
Coyotes
I was
now?
writing a story.
Who's going to watch Coyotes?
Us
You're
and
Coyote fans.
There's
You're Coyote
tons
fans.
of
Look at them
people
all.
wrote a
They're all-
story
on
they're all
KD?
watching. I wrote a story on the 10 biggest trades in Valley history.
Is KD one of them?
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Pandering.
Jeremy Roenick was on that
You're
list too.
pandering.
So there was a Coyotes angle to it.
Love
And
it.
it was male pro sports,
Yeah.
as we talked about, Leah.
God
you know.
forbid.
Pandering.
Yeah, God forbid. Yeah, I should just say
God
male.
forbid we specify.
So you got
God
KD
forbid
in
I
your
should
headline.
acknowledge there's another gender. Apparently I'm woke because of that. But anyway,
if you know,
Can
you
we
know.
have KD on our
If you
show?
know,
Like, can
you
we just
know.
talk more KD?
Can
You
you
wrote a
imagine-
story on
Let's just get
KD.
on.
Can you
just get
imagine?
the
He's
clicks.
like, I won't go on the Sun show, but
But
I
I'm
will
on
go
the
on the
Coyotes
Coyote
guys.
show.
Yeah,
KD on the Coyote show.
that's right.
Oh, that would be unreal.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, our trade deadline's not going to be bringing in Lee Stepniak and Wojtek Wolski and all the guys that made that year
No,
exciting.
it's the other kind of trade deadline.
No.
Will there be players coming in?
There might
Probably,
be.
yeah. If they have to take on contracts.
There might be.
But
Yeah,
you know who they need
we
to.
saw a couple
You know
of
who they
players.
need to get out quickly, Petey? Nick Bjugstad. That's who they need to get out quickly.
So he stops tying games late and sending it to
Stop
overtime
having
for
such a
extra
positive
unnecessary
impact on
points.
this team.
But anyway,
Yeah, he probably won't
I'm kidding.
survive.
but anyway,
Boogie will be back this summer.
Become a diehard
good
to get
man.
access to all the great
I'll
content,
pick you up at the airport.
all the great
Wow.
diehard content on the website, and all
Awkward.
the other
It's
perks
very
I
awkward.
mentioned as well. And listen, it's been a long week, and I can't wait for Sunday. I'm just gonna relax, unwind, take some OGs to fully enjoy.
I was going to say you probably shouldn't do
Super Bowl.
anything more today, but Sunday sounds like a good
Sunday
day. for
is
OGs.
perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
Is anything
like
going on Sunday?
a couple things.
Look out our window.
Yeah, by the way, I don't know if you can hear this at all.
Jeez.
Like it's just thumping. I see there was like green lasers out there before.
That's a couple blocks away, but there's so much going on in downtown.
Yeah, downtown Phoenix. Oh my goodness.
Buzzing.
Yeah, it is buzzing. And to come down from it,
Speaking
I'm
of
gonna
buzzing,
take some OGs gummies. I know Damon is a big fan of the OGs. What's your favorite flavor, Damon? Do you have one?
I haven't had like a ton of flavors. I've had the orange dreamsicle.
yeah,
and that's pretty
Petey's
solid.
favorite.
yeah, I like the Dreamsicle.
Yeah.
I want to try that
Solid.
strawberries and cream.
Oh, I'm
She
dying.
says that too. I don't like change. Once I found what I like,
It's okay. They have something for everybody.
no, I know.
They have something for everybody. And
don't
like Damon
like
said,
change.
strawberries and cream is hitting the shelf soon. As always, you can find them at your local dispensary. You must be 21 or older to enjoy. What?
Old Tex, he's got a Cassian jersey and he just ordered a Bjugstad jersey.
Ultrex, that's gonna like not okay.
Buddy, slow down. Slow
Can we
down.
go up to the super
Super
chat,
chat.
from vaguely sober popping in $1.99 Heart PHNX? I'm a hockey only cat, PD.
How'd it go, buddy? I'd like to see it.
Thank you for the
I'll
super
jump
chat.
on the Suns bandwagon by playoff time.
And
So,
by the way,
Where are you watching the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Literally?
in
yeah.
his living
Where do
room.
you think?
In your home?
By
with-
myself.
With the shades drawn.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't
Me and my
talk to
wife
me.
by ourselves. Stay the hell away.
I'm going to be watching it with my dad. I'm looking forward to
Are
that.
you?
Oh, that's
You know,
fun.
it was-
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's
That
it's
is
a good
fun.
fallback option because I wasn't invited to Leah Merrill's party.
She's
it's
having a
not-
party that
it's
we're
not
having a
my
party.
party. idea.
She's had people over to watch the game?
That's the revision that she's had. It's
I
not
will
her
literally
party.
call my friend live on the
Okay,
show and
but
have
again,
him confirm that it's not.
Seriously, no passive aggressive digs. HK, because if you would have invited me, I would have said no.
I know, and
that's why you don't invite
if
me.
you came, you would have eaten before.
Right.
That's exactly.
And that's why you don't invite me.
Exactly,
So
which
when
is
people,
what he's gonna do about
people
St.
that know me
Patty's Day
don't
party,
invite
too.
me to things.
My
it
wife
just
is
makes
going
it
to
easier.
crush you at the door.
She's
going to crush
We
you.
need to
Don't invite
live
me to
stream
things.
the St. Patrick's
Don't
Day
invite
party.
me because I won't
She's
come.
going to have a forkful waiting for you as you walk in the
I won't
front
eat it.
door, and you won't walk in the front door without
Oh,
trying
sorry,
her
I'm
food.
full.
That's what's going to happen.
So, Leah, I appreciate that.
You know what? And you know what? Your wife will try it too because your wife's polite.
Oh, she will.
Yeah.
All right.
If we
Heidi's
go.
polite.
If we go.
Okay.
If we go.
Good Lord. Craig's only been talking about it since November.
I have not.
Speaking
I
of
don't know how
socks,
to
I
work
saw
that
somebody
out.
mention socks. I know you probably got ad reads. We didn't even talk about my sock. Did you see my sock?
No, I didn't.
I saw.
Craig saw him.
What is
So,
that?
It's a guy.
He's mowing a lawn?
He's mowing the lawn. They're from my golf. They're my golf sock.
That's fun.
They're green with a guy mowing the lawn in honor of the funnest place on grass.
Oh, the waste management.
Waste
I
management.
forgot about it. Super
I was
Bowl
giving
has
that some
been in my
flowers. If
brain.
we've been talking about the big game, so I gave
I love it.
the golf some
I love
flowers.
it. Why not?
By the way, since we're done with hockey, every golf tournament should be like that.
I know.
If you want me to
Unreal.
watch golf, make it that. Make screaming, yelling, booing, cheering. It's pro sports. Suck it up. Oh,
thank you for that. I completely agree with that. Like golfers, you call yourself an athlete, but you need perfect silence in order to perform. Shut up.
Go to the 16th hole. That is.
Here's pressure, buddy.
I'll watch.
I'm gonna scream in your
PJ,
face
I'll
as you're
watch.
teeing off.
I'll watch. I would watch that, Craig.
I would too.
Sorry.
Okay. We do have one more hockey thing to talk about.
Sure.
And
We
it's
do.
A little bit more on Dylan
You
Gunther.
checked in on it? Did you look at the result tonight?
No, I didn't.
I haven't looked either.
Will you look while I'm...
No, I can't see. So
Oh, I'll look.
We just wear glasses,
why don't you
the-
say
the
what's so
vanity.
Dylan Gunther, obviously we know, found out Sunday he got sent down to the Western Hockey League. He was reporting to the Seattle Thunderbirds, who traded for his rights midway through this season, and he is scheduled to be, or he was in the lineup
he's in the
tonight
lineup
versus.
tonight. That game should be over.
All right, so we're gonna look up how he
playing
did.
the Red Deer Rebels, who produced Marty Hansel among others, and I think is owned by Brent Sutter right now, right?
It's 0-0 in the
0-0
third
in the
period.
third.
Woo-hoo, there it is. Dylan Gunther making his debut. And by the way, I had a chance to catch up with Dylan Gunther, had a chat with him about this entire situation that will appear on gophnx.com on Sunday in a neutral zone.
Yeah,
So-
I'm looking forward to reading that.
Really
He
good
was
conversation, long
Very
conversation.
candid with you as
Yes,
well.
he was.
So I'm really looking forward to read what he has to say. But we'll keep track of Dylan Gunther's journey in the WHL. Seattle is poised to make a long
Really good.
playoff run. And, unfortunately, Dylan Gunther missed out on the Memorial Cup run last season with his injury. So hopefully he gets the chance to have that experience because it can only do good things for him, I think. All right. We got a back-to-back.
We gotta do this
I
tomorrow?
get very tired
Yeah.
just even thinking about it.
I'm staying home.
So can we look at the upcoming schedule? So we got the St. Louis Blues tomorrow night, Saturday. At least it's a 6:00 start.
Fair.
Then off to Nashville Monday.
Which we'll be doing this summer.
Yes,
off to
we
Nashville.
will. Can't wait. And Wednesday the 15th. One quick stop at home before to LA. This is
But
classic.
Wednesday the 15th, what's going on?
We are having a pregame meetup at Illegal Pete's, 4:30 p.m. So I hope you all join us. Illegal Pete's right on Mill. You could walk to Mullet if you wanted. It's a very, very quick Uber or drive as well. Let me just emphasize this. Free food.
What?
Free
Free
queso.
food at Illegal Pete's. Starting at 4:30, we'll be there before the Tampa Bay Lightning game, and then we're going to go over to the game all together. Or not. We're not driving all together, but we will be going to the game as well. And then you got LA Kings, an 8:30 p.m. start on Saturday. Why do they do this to us? And that's
To end the
another
week.
back-to-back. You can't even see it
What's
because
the other game?
it's the 19th.
Well, thanks.
When is daylight saving?
Seriously, there
When
was
do we go
murder, she
back to
wrote
Pacific
Jessica
time?
Fletcher. The 18th. What's the next day? The 19th? No shit. I want to know who they're playing.
Columbus, another very important tank game.
Jesus.
Big
Needs a
tank
nap.
game.
When is
Okay.
daylight saving?
I know,
Second
sorry,
Monday
I
in
didn't
March.
memorize
Second Sunday
the
in March.
Coyote schedule.
I know we're looking. Jessica Fletcher. I got a
Oh,
Jessica Fletcher
Jesus.
out there.
All right.
Oh, we're
Oh,
losing it.
CWP is going to be there
I know.
Wednesday.
They changed his work schedule.
So I have to try the queso.
You have to. Oh my God. We
I
went
think we
there.
should have a queso eating contest.
Oh God.
No, but I want to savor it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not involved in any eating contest.
We went to Legal Pete's the other night. We had an all city meetup there. Money. So good. I can't wait for it again. I was literally there saying, I hope, I can't wait to be back a week from now. So
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's absolutely amazing.
Amazing. And Damon knows because we had a Legal Pete's at U of A, fellow Wildcat
Bear down.
over here.
Kelly, is Kelly going? Kelly Herman. Can't wait for Wednesday.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Kelly for a
U of
while.
A connections.
Kelly went to the U of A game, and we're talking to her and her husband.
Love
so
it. Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
Can we read
buddy, but we need to get Sean back behind me because I can't take this.
Let's read our other
Was there another
super chat. Yep. From Altex. Once again, Altex, just hooking it up, said, when I met Bjugstad at the home opener, I asked him, should I get him on the black or white Kachina? He said black, keeping to that promise.
There you go. The black Kachina.
I do love the black Kachina. So even if Bjugstad gets traded, it's a great jersey to be in possession
Best Coyote jersey all time.
Yep.
Black
it
Kachina.
Is. Agreed.
Black
Absolutely.
Kachina.
Agreed.
Unanimous from our panel.
Yep. Absolutely.
Sorry we had to steal it from your house, Ray.
Yeah, that's how you acquired it. One more thing to get to, and of course, it's the punch card.
Punch card.
How are we looking?
How many games are left? 30?
Buddy, we are. Look at that.
We're almost done with this line.
Look at that.
It's the final stretch here.
Did they get another win on this line?
St. Louis and Nashville.
Maybe. I don't know. Really?
Buddy,
with this team?
St.
Louis has not been very good, by the way.
They're going into Nashville with a day off because it's a back-to-back, so you know Sunday's a day off. Do you know what else happens on Sunday?
The Super Bowl.
Do you think that a bunch of 20-year-old hockey players are going to sit in the hotel with their feet up playing video games?
I think they should go to Love and Exile.
Hell no.
Shotgun some
They
wine.
are going to be watching the Super Bowl in Nashville. So how do you think Monday's going to look?
All right. And you're saying they're losing tomorrow night, too? You're calling
they're losing tomorrow. They're going to lose them both.
Okay.
In regulation.
Seattle is up 1-0, but Dylan Gunther did not get a point. He's
going to take a little time to
Jared
adjust.
Davidson.
Doesn't know any of this. Admitted to me, by the way, that it was really weird being in that locker room, after playing. He's been an oil king his whole life. And to end up in Seattle, of all teams, Seattle, the team that they played in the final last year, the team that injured him and prevented him from playing in the Memorial
And now you're part
Cup,
of their team.
He's part of that team.
After not playing all season. Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, it's weird.
Roaring Fork said St. Louis is tanking. They win tomorrow. And then Charles said Keller feasts on the Blues. W incoming.
Wow.
I don't know. This one could
We'll
go
see.
either way.
That's why
for
we
me.
watch the games.
Okay.
Could go either way. So I'm looking forward to it to see what happens. And I love the 6 p.m. starts. That's what I
will say that
I
as well.
most look forward to. But I'm also looking forward, of course, to the Super Bowl as we've been talking about. And if you're not like Petey and you don't want to just sit at home and you don't,
if you like people,
if you like people, if you like activities, if you like doing fun things, I have a great suggestion for you. And it's Octane Raceway and Mavericks. You can watch the big game there.
The big game is there?
At Mavericks. Dozens of 4K televisions. A 20-foot Jumbotron. You won't even need to put your glasses on, Craig, to see that one.
For the big game.
5,000 square foot restaurant featuring a chef-curated menu, craft beers, including Four Peaks on tap, and custom cocktails. Enjoy the Super Bowl experience at Mavericks and book that in advance at mavericks.com/thebiggame. And check out just Octane and Mavericks in general if you're just looking for a fun thing to do. So much fun, and they have a deal every single day. So whatever you're looking for.
I drove by it today, thought about pulling in.
Sean's in the chat. It feels so weird without you here, Sean.
DP.
I hope you're having fun being
you get a little Sun Devil support here, Sean. Thanks for being here.
Craig is now outnumbered by the Wildcats, and it's really stressing him out. But another thing about the Super Bowl being this Sunday is that there's a lot of fun stuff to do on Underdog to do with the Super Bowl. And I don't think you know this yet.
I don't, because you haven't told me.
There's a couple boosters right now on Underdog.
Okay.
Choose correctly if Patrick Mahomes will have a higher or lower 314.5 total yards to increase your maximum payout from 20 to 30 times your money if you get all 5 of your pick'ems correct.
Wow.
So you can do that, or you can make a really tough choice to decide if Jalen Hurts will have a higher or lower of half a total yard.
I think he'll have a higher.
Okay, I think so too. think so too.
Jalen
So
Hurts.
if
We're
you
gonna
want,
save our Super Bowl predictions for tomorrow night.
yeah,
show,
we
by the
should.
way.
We should do that
Yeah.
tomorrow. But if you want to partake on Underdog, it's just going to be a lot of fun this Sunday. I can't wait. And it's super easy to get started. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with the code PHNX, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. All right, you guys. Anything else before we go?
Got a point. Look at Craig loving it. Let's get a point.
I have the Blackhawks show open on my computer.
Minnesota.
Are they still going?
Look,
still
we're
rolling?
doing Inception. Here's the
This is-
Blackhawks show on our show.
And they're still on. So they're
They
still.
just started 8 minutes ago.
Oh, because they weren't there. They went to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to get back to the studio.
Yeah.
So
Their spacious studio.
yeah, they have a
It's
nice
really
studio.
nice.
It is
I gotta
nice.
see it. I gotta
But
get
I will
back there.
say this studio from the visiting
love this
Chicago
studio.
and Denver people have really complimented
Well,
us.
On our
so did
studio.
Bill Armstrong.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. When he was firing
I
Petey.
think it was
Just
a
firing
good
Petey.
good game for this team after the 3-day rest to start this 3-day road trip. 1 point might be all they get on this trip.
Okay. And that's fine with us.
Yeah. And
Really
not
is.
to be negative, I thought they skated well, and I thought Keller looked good, and Schmaltz looked good, and the goaltender looked good.
When they come home from this road trip
Yes.
in mid-February,
Yes.
they'll only have 9 road games left.
That's unreal.
Wow.
It is
Oh
unreal.
my God, Nicholas reminded me new episode of Last of Us tonight.
Wait, tonight?
Because the Super Bowl Sunday. So they moved it to tonight.
All right,
Nicholas,
we're done. See you
all
later.
right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, Nicholas. Wow.
Thanks, Nicholas. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
That
Thank
is
you
exactly
all.
what I'm going home to.
Thank you all so much for tuning in and for commenting. Please like this video, whether you're watching live or later. We really appreciate all the comments and all the super chats. We really, really do. And we hope you'll join us tomorrow night after the St. Louis Blues game. We'll be right back here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. And like I said before, subscribe to the channel. Just unbelievable stuff this week from the Suns crew. They went live at midnight to talk about the KD trade. Our Cardinals crew just grinding at Radio Row. Just some unbelievable content on PHNX Sports YouTube. So check it out. Check out PHNX Sports on Instagram and Twitter as well. And then you can follow each of us on Twitter at @SPetersHockey, at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan. Damon, where can the people follow you?
Damon Dog, and that is DAWG.
Of course it is.
And in his bio, Tucson is the greatest city on earth. Just saying.
How do you feel about that, Craig?
Not very good.
You love
Not good.
you love
Bob.
the food in
Not
Tucson,
good.
though.
I do actually.
Oh, yeah.
No, I actually like Tucson.
I know you
It's a
do.
nice place.
It's okay. You can admit it.
U
This,
of A.
this is a safe space, Craig.
That's a
You
different
can
thing.
admit it. All right. Well,
You know, I didn't dislike U of A nearly as much until I had to read Mike Luke's daily tweets. I'm chirping you big time right now,
back
Mike Luke.
the
but
A.
Back
By
to
the
A.
way-
Back to A. Have you seen the ASU score? Does anybody have the ASU score?
All time,
All right,
all
buddy.
time text from Mike Luke this week to me. Back the PHNX, and that's really how I feel about this week as a whole.
Yeah.
Back the PHNX, and you can back us by following us on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe this weekend. Enjoy, celebrate. It's a really cool experience to host a Super Bowl. We'll see everybody tomorrow night. Bye.